G'day everyone and welcome to the channel. Welcome to Liverpool Verdict. My name is Jono. If you're new to the channel, drop a comment, introduce yourself, like the video, help the channel out, and we'll continue with this growing channel. In this video, yes, we have Devils Down Under John. Cheers for joining there, Pribs. In this video, we're going to cover the Community Shield game. We're going to talk about some of the positives that came out of this game. And we're also going to talk about some of the risks, some of the things that we're going to be a little bit concerned about going into this channel. Don't forget to hit that like button there, Privo. For any new joiners, keep going. We are growing this channel. So a bit of summary of the game. Look, first half, I thought Liverpool, we were absolutely rocking. You got Kirkes, Frimpong, Ekitike, Florian, Wirtz. All these new players have all been, it felt like they were all playing with each other for over a year. It was exciting. It was exciting football. Quick touches, precise touches, finding spaces in tight areas. It was absolutely brilliant to watch. First half was rocking, other than Virgil van Dijk's silly foul, silly penalty, which brought them into the game. I was impressed. I thought it was absolutely rocking, brilliant to watch. Second half, Liverpool dropped off. It was just a little bit of silly errors that was happening in that second half. You know, Szoboszlai was losing the ball, silly passes. Who was it? Crystal Palace came into the game. You had Sarr that was absolutely tearing us apart down on that right-hand side. So we were on the ropes at one point. Alisson had to step in and make sure that we had to stay alive in the game. So Endo Mac had to come in for a bit of stability. But in the end, look, it was a draw. It was a fair result. I thought it was a fairly even game. We lost some penalties, and look, it is what it is, 50-50 chance. And that was probably one of the worst penalty shootout I've seen with Liverpool ever. How many penalties did we lose? What, three penalties we missed? So that was absolutely diabolical. But what I want to talk about is the positives. I want to talk about the positives because I think there's definitely a lot to be excited about. I want to talk about this guy, the man, Florian Wirtz. What do you think of this guy? What do you think of this guy? Because I think he is incredible. His touches on the ball, the way he glides into space. Like this guy, everything was going through Florian Wirtz. He was the main guy. People online see this price tag on him and they just think, can I hate on this guy? Can I hate on this guy? And you can't. You can't. He is such an attractive player to watch. I think give him a little bit of time. You don't even need some time. I think he's just going to come out and just completely take this Premier League by storm. Incredible guy. What do you think of this guy, Florian Wirtz? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Please, if you're watching, hit the like button. Privo, plenty of fresh ballers in this team. We'll care about the price tag. Is it their money? Let the club spend. And you're absolutely right. Florian Wirtz, he broke the record, 116 million pounds. You got to forget about the price tag. We needed this creativity. At the end of the day, Liverpool have lost a huge creative asset, which was Trent Alexander-Arnold. Huge loss in the creativity. And Florian Wirtz is the man that's going to step up and essentially create those assists, play balls into space. But the way he plays is it's just quick touches. He likes, and you saw it early on in the first 4 minutes of the game. He got the ball, 1-2 touches with Ekitike out front. And then he just found Ekitike in very small spaces inside the box. And that's why I think he's going to work incredibly well with Hugo Ekitike, because Hugo Ekitike is a ball player himself. He couldn't do this with Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez, you have to play that ball in behind the defense a lot more. But Florian Wirtz, absolute baller of a player. The other player I want to talk about is Hugo Ekitike. Hugo, the man. It didn't take long. It did not take long for him. 4 minutes. And when you're a new striker coming into a club like Liverpool, one of the biggest hurdles that you have to get over is getting that first goal. You need to get over that first goal, because once you get past that first goal, then you can just feel a little bit more relaxed. And he's done it in 4 minutes. And I tell you what about that finish by him? Incredible finish. He hit it with the laces and it just went right amount of power straight into the back post. I think he's going to work incredibly well with Florian Wirtz. He's got Gakpo as well on one side, Salah on the other. One move that I can see happening quite often is the Salah-Ekitike combination. We know Salah likes to get the ball on the edge of the box. He likes to whip that ball into the back post. And Hugo Ekitike, he's no small man. He is a giant, an absolute giant. He's 6'3". And you don't see many strikers like Hugo Ekitike where they're so tall, 6'3", but they're also really good on the feet. You got your Zlatan Ibrahimovic was one of those rare breeds. But Hugo Ekitike, he has traits of a bit of Roberto Firmino in him. Just he's not as technically gifted as him, but he does show some of those signs, and he's fantastic link-up play throughout that game. So he wins headers. Yeah, his hold-up ability was really good. And he's definitely a player that Liverpool fans should get excited about. All right, so we've got Liverpool FC 2. Liverpool gave away Darwin Núñez for nothing. Yeah, look, I'm going to touch on Darwin Núñez later on in this video, but definitely one thing I can say is we could have done really well with Darwin Núñez off the bench. As soon as Hugo Ekitike came off the pitch, we seemed to lose that ability to hold the ball up. We couldn't hold possession. There was times where there will be long balls that will be played and Hugo Ekitike will head it down or lay it off to Florian Wirtz or out wide to Salah or Cody Gakpo, but we're missing that. We don't have another striker. We're 1 week out till the Premier League starts and we don't have another striker. So that's definitely a concern, which I'll talk about in a moment. How much should you get for him? Liverpool FC 2. How much should we get for him? Hugo Ekitike, how much should we spend on him? I think we spend 80 something million euros. I think it was 83. But definitely a good buy. He's young. He's got a lot more promise coming through. Liverpool. So Liverpool FC 2. In the context of signing nobody at the back, yeah, look, that's definitely a concern. Virgil van Dijk had a poor game. He gave away a penalty. And even the second goal, he tried to play the offside trap. And I tell you what, it completely backfired. It executed poorly. No one else in the defense really read what he was doing. So he had a bit of a blip in this game. Let's just hope it's a bit of a one-off, and I think it will be a one-off. But definitely, I think he needs a bit more competition as well, because at the moment, there's no competition. Joe Gomez is always injured, and there's only just them two, Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate. Losing Darwin for 500 million isn't worth it if no backup comes in. Look, you're right. This move could backfire. It definitely could backfire. I think this is where if we lose Hugo Ekitike, we have no striker. We could be another Arsenal. What Arsenal had to go through last season. So we are playing with fire at the moment. We definitely need to get someone in. Of course, Alexander Isak is the guy, but at this stage, we don't know. We don't know. It seems like it was certain. There's signs to show that it's certain, but Newcastle, they've just been so poor in this transfer window, and we have to rely on Newcastle to do well and to get their strikers in, and they're not doing it. So they could be in the position where they have to hold him. So yeah, you're right. It is a risk. Mehdi Taremi from Inter is available. We could do a trade. You can give us Taremi, and we can give you Federico Chiesa. So maybe we could. But at this stage, we're definitely going to need Federico Chiesa for sure. He didn't come off the bench. I thought he would, but definitely, yeah. We'll keep that as an option. We'll pass on that feedback to Richard Hughes. The other player I want to talk about is Frimpong, Jeremie Frimpong. I thought he had a strong performance. That cross he scored, cross shot, was it a goal? Was it a cross? Was it a goal? Who knows? Well, let me know what you think in the comments. I think with these types of goals, I would say 99% of the time they are intended for a cross. I think it was definitely a cross, but if it wasn't, I'll tell you what, that is some world-class goal. But other than the goal, look, he showed lightning pace. He even when times where he had to defend, he came by. He was that second man. He stopped some crucial attacks as well. Jesus, he's quick. My God, he's not that tall as well. He's quite a short man. But I tell you what, he packed a whole lot of pace. And not only that, the attacking threat, he gets the ball and he can take on the man. He just takes that one touch down the line and he just instantly gains 1 yard or 2 yards from the defender. So Jeremie Frimpong, definitely one to be excited about. I thought he had a great game. And yeah, he's definitely exciting. And look, I think he's definitely going to be starting on the weekend, and I think he's going to be a first choice right back ahead of Connor Bradley at this stage, because Connor Bradley is good, but unfortunately he's another one that can be injury prone, starting the season on the bench, starting the season with an injury. So he's not doing himself any favors, but definitely Frimpong, a player to be very, very excited about. All right, let's get into the comments. So our fans would run him to the airport for that trade. Yeah, this is Taremi. Yeah. Look, you got him for free. So free is free. Don't know what his wages are like, but yeah, if his wages are quite low, I definitely, it's definitely good to have someone thrown off the bench. Probably a cross, to be honest. It looked so clean. Yes, it did look clean. It was one of those crosses where you just think, okay, it's a chip cross in the back post. I think he was probably trying to find Hugo Ekitike in the back post, or maybe someone like a Cody Gakpo. But I tell you what, the keeper should have done better. Henderson, top game. I thought he did really well, especially in that penalty shootout. But that cross, he should have had that covered. That was embarrassing by him. Paul Conchesi, eat your heart out. Good man. All right. Now the big topic, the big man, I think Mr. Liverpool FC 2 is definitely want to talk about this guy, but Darwin Núñez, did we miss him? Are we going to miss him? And I say this because this game, when we look to our bench, there wasn't that much depth. There wasn't that much depth. And that's a little bit of a concern, especially when we are 1 week out to the Premier League. We only had a 16, 17-year-old Rio Ngamoa who could potentially come on for Gakpo. We had Ekitike as well, who could come off the bench. And then you could also even throw on Harvey Elliott as well. But again, he plays a bit more of a midfielder. He can play in Salah's position, but he's not someone that can play in that front three. I think he's more of an attacking midfielder. So in terms of front three depth, it's looking very thin, very thin. And why? It's because we lost and sold Darwin Núñez. It's because we sold Luis Diaz, 2 players, and we have a matter of weeks to replace him. Darwin, the Dar Whistle, he could have had an impact on this game. But when you think about it, you think the club's strategic position is, if we sell Darwin Núñez, we are definitely going to get Alexander Isak. But it just doesn't look like it's going to be the case. We don't know. It just seems to be up in the air. It's a huge risk. It's a massive, massive risk that Liverpool are playing at the moment. But I tell you what, this transfer window with Alexander Isak to come in and replace Darwin Núñez, a lot of it depends on Newcastle trying to get another striker. Newcastle let go Callum Wilson. Let him go for free. Then they need to replace him. Have they replaced him? No, they haven't. Then, of course, you got Alexander Isak. They need to replace him too. Have they replaced him? No. So you're 1 week out and Newcastle need to replace him. And they haven't even replaced either one of them. So Newcastle's downfall could also end up being Liverpool's downfall. So what are we going to do in that situation? Well, that means potentially a panic buy. Who we're going to get? Vissa? Some other striker off the market? Jeremie from Inter? Who could it be? Who could it be? But drop your comments in. Drop them below. What did you think of the game? What are your thoughts? Look, overall, I thought there were some positive signs. I thought Liverpool showed a lot of fire. Showed especially that first half. I finished watching that first half and I'm thinking, man, this is looking good. This is looking absolutely brilliant. Looking fire. Looking just sharp. The passing. This is the type of brand of football that Arne Slot is instilled into the players. Just the one touch, the quick passes. And it was brilliant. It was great to watch. But then again, second half, we just fell apart. And I tell you what, big ups to Crystal Palace. They wanted it. They were hungry. You can tell winning the Community Shield for Crystal Palace just meant so much more. It meant so much more. And in the end, who let us down in this game? I tell you what, it was the experienced guys. Mo Salah, he had a poor game, a terrible game. The penalty that he took, I've never seen him take a penalty like that. His technique to when he kicked the ball was absolutely all over the place. But even throughout the game, he was just nowhere to be seen. He wasn't involved. There were moments where he was linking up a little bit with Florian Wirtz. He played some passes in. But I tell you what, it was definitely a game that he needs to move on from. I don't know if it's fitness. I don't know if it's sluggish. Could it potentially be age? But one thing's for sure, we can't expect him to replicate what he did last season, because what Mo Salah did last season was special. It was special. To get over 50 goals and assists was absolutely spectacular. So, but yeah, definitely Cody Gakpo. I thought Cody Gakpo did well as well. He didn't have his best game. He didn't get too many shots on goal. But I tell you what, I think losing Luis Diaz could be a massive loss for us, because a game like this is where Cody Gakpo could have been taken off and we could have thrown Luis Diaz on off the bench. And I tell you what, we didn't have that today. We did not have that today, and that is something that we absolutely needed in this. So we've got a few weeks left in the transfer market. A few weeks left. Should we panic? No. I think I've got a lot of faith in Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. I think they have done absolutely brilliant in this transfer window. But my God, I think we're gonna have to bring some players in. At centre back is definitely one position that we have to get in. Mark Gahey, he's the main guy. He's the guy that we need to someone with experience like him needs to bring in. But I tell you what, I don't even think we can be able to get him this season. I think if we're going to get Mark Gahey, he's probably going to be next season. And if we do get him next season, it's going to be for free. And I think that's what Mark Gahey is probably wanting as well. Because if Mark Gahey comes into this side, then Mark Gahey is then competing with Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. And that's going to be a really tough battle to get into the lineup. But thing is that there's a World Cup around the corner. And in order to make this England squad, Mark Gahey needs to play minutes. And if he comes in right now, there's a chance that he may not be able to get that starting position. So that's why it also makes sense to bring Mark Gahey next season. As much as I would want him this season, as much as a lot of fans would want him this season, because we do need that depth, I think in his mind, it's probably better for him to go next season. And from Crystal Palace's perspective, they probably also want Mark Gahey to also try to extend his contract, or essentially try to hold him at least for one more season as well. So at least they can find someone to replace him. All right, guys, what are your thoughts? Drop your comments in. I think we're going to wrap up from here. Look, yeah, all I can say, positive signs. Florian Wirtz, the man, the guy, he was brilliant today. Hugo, Ekitike, all of the new players were absolutely outstanding. Even Milos Kerkez as well. He was outstanding as well. Defensively, even in the attack, he whipped in some dangerous crosses. So it ended up being the new guys, the new boys. They were the ones to impress, and it was the old fellas, your Salahs and your Virgil van Dijks. They're the ones that were a little bit more disappointed, but I'm sure, no doubt, they're just going to dust it off, move on, because we've got a big game against Bournemouth this weekend. And I tell you what, home game, we definitely needed that home game. Must win, absolute must win. Yes, we've got the man, Mr. Charbel Baris. Welcome to the live chat. They should go for a centre back from Downey's FC from Bankstown, indoor quality centre back off his contract there. I'll tell you what, there are some quality centre backs in that Bankstown indoor side. Who did we verse back in the day? It was Mohammed's 5. There was even Mr. Charbel Baris. Maybe Charbel Baris could have dropped in and played centre back. But definitely there's some talent in that area. But Mr. Charbel Baris, what is your thoughts for Arsenal this season? I'll tell you what, because one thing I did mention earlier is Liverpool could end up being another Arsenal last season. We've only got one striker. And if Hugo Ekitike gets injured, we could end up just being strikerless. We could end up just throwing Joe Gomez up front, or throwing Gravenberg or McAllister or anyone up front. We could be struggling. And we sold Darwin Núñez, and we haven't replaced him yet. We have not replaced him, and it is dangerous. It's definitely dangerous. So we definitely need to find someone in as quick as possible. Who is your favorite Liverpool player, Mr. Trenesky? Ex-Liverpool player. Ooh, who's my favorite ex-Liverpool player? as in someone that's retired. Look, Steven Gerrard, he's the GOAT. He's the man. Used to play for Liverpool. But if I was going to go for someone that did move on to a lot of different clubs, I think Xabi Alonso, he was brilliant to watch. Xabi Alonso. And I think he was probably one of your favorite players too. So Xabi Alonso, I think, is up there. I really, really liked Robbie Fowler. I thought he was an absolute baller as a striker. I loved how he was just, whenever he was just so clinical up front. What's next? So what's your favorite ex-Liverpool player from the random Woy era? Not too sure what you mean by that there, Mr. Trinesky, but from the Woy area. Okay. You're going to have to elaborate on that one, mate. Mr. Briss, honestly, I don't know what to expect from Arsenal. Time will tell. Look, don't know what to expect. I tell you what, Gyökeres, that header he scored, that was a striker's header. That was a striker's header. And I have to say, he's looking really, really good. He's that striker that you guys have that really, really desperately needed. And that header he scored, he just got in front of the defender, whacked it in, and it was a powerful header too. So you still kept all your main players. You got Saka in, you got your Martinellis. You bulked up in that midfield as well, and your defense is stacked as well. So I think Arsenal, you guys will be challenging. And I think you won't have as much luck, or hopefully you don't have as much bad luck with the injuries. But I tell you what, I think Arsenal are definitely going to be a real good shout. A really, really good shout for the Premier League this season. And you have to get onto a good start. You got a hard run at the beginning, so does Liverpool, and there's a lot of big games in the first, 4 or 5 games, a lot of big heavyweight clashes. But if Arsenal can still maintain either within 3 or 4 points from first, I think that will be a good start, considering when you add in the context of all the hard games that you guys have. So, but definitely time will tell there. Roy. Sorry, I misread that. Roy Hodgson era. Yes. Was Sotirios Kyrgiakos, was he part of the Roy Hodgson era? Or did he come a little bit after? But I tell you what, fellow Greek guy, I did really, really like him. Although it was dark times, I think Kyrgiakos was the man. I did like him. He was probably, I liked him a lot more in the FIFA, in the EAFC game, because he was a beast. But Roy Hodgson era, I don't really think there was that many players to really enjoy. That was dark times. Very, very dark times for us Liverpool fans, I'll tell you that. But yeah, what was your favourite player from the Roy Hodgson era there, Mr. Liverpool FC 2? What was it? Who was it? Let's go through some of the main names that we had. We had your Steven Gerrards, David Ngog. I think he was in that Roy Hodgson era. Ricky Lambert was one player who came in, I think it was during that Roy Hodgson era. I think we got a washed up Joe Cole as well. Dark times. I tell you what, that was really, 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 really dark. Raul Morales, yes, that's a good one. I did like Raul Morales. I thought he was really, really good. He was probably one of our better players in that era for sure. Definitely one of our better players. But who do we have at the back? I think Jeremie Carragher was at the back during that Roy Hodgson era. Konchesky equals bold. Yeah, look, can't disrespect against us bold pet guys. We've got a few boldies in the squad as well. So, and look, our manager, Arne Slot, he's a bold man. So, there were some quality bold players. Raul Morales, he was a slick player, very, very quality player. What are your thoughts on the high line that Liverpool are playing? I feel like they got caught out a lot against Palace, especially Kirkez. Jamie Carragher was not happy. Yeah, I tell you what, really, really good point there, Charbel. On that left-hand side, Liverpool were getting caught out. Munez. They were playing, 5 at the back, and then they had their wing backs sort of getting into space, and they were always unmarked. And he just kept finding space. And Palace, whenever they got the ball, and I think who was it? Eze. He got the ball. He did it once or twice. Quick pass straight over to Munez. And yeah, we just kept getting caught out. He just had too much space, and then he just kept whipping those balls into the box. So Liverpool do like to play that high line. It's always a risky move, and it can pay off. But in a lot of cases, it can really, really backfire. So it definitely can. So Eze is a gunman. Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with that. And he showed his quality in this game as well. Eze, he's been sought out by a lot of clubs. I think Arsenal were interested in signing him. There was a lot of big clubs that were interested in signing him. And I'm surprised he's still stuck it out at Crystal Palace. Top quality player, creative guy. He's great on the ball. The way he just drives the ball into space, really top player. But of course, he'll come with a hefty price tag. And good on him for sticking with Crystal Palace, because I think he's got the potential to really take that next step and jump to a club that's sort of fighting in that top 6, top 5. So yeah, big ups to Eze. He's a top player. Where could you see him go from here? Well, that's the thing. A lot of these centre attacking mids are pretty much filled up. Liverpool definitely not going to get him. We've already got our Florian, Wirtz and Szoboszlai in that position. Arsenal, I think you guys could get him. You could sign him. But yeah, it's going to be costly. It's going to be costly. But definitely had a really, really good game. Big ups to him. All right, guys. I think I might leave it from here. Thanks for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. I think it's been a really, really good show. Appreciate your comments. Thanks, Charbel. Thanks, Trineski. Appreciate it, boys, for joining this live stream. If you're new, hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely helps out the channel. We're going to be doing a lot more of these live streams throughout the year. And yeah, I'm going to try to do this at least once a week. I want to engage with the people online. We're growing a really, really good community here. And there's definitely a lot to talk about in this footballing world. What's next, Charbel? I think one thing we can all agree on is my man United down for continue. Well, that was going to happen. Disgusting. Absolutely right there, Mr. Charbel. I'll tell you and that's a good question. What are the expectations of Manchester United this season? I'll tell you what, they did pull in some good signings. So you got Sesko that's coming, Brian and Burmo. I thought he had a terrific season last season. And then you got Cunha. They pretty much just revitalized that front line. And you look at why did Man United do terribly last season? And the big indicator was they just couldn't get goals. They were just boring to watch last season. Man United were absolute rubbish. And that's why they came, 15th, 16th in the season? So they needed to get some new attackers. And look, their goal, they're going to have to try to push back into Champions League football, and they've got those attackers. But of course, it's not going to solve everything. Man United have so many issues. They have so many issues. You look at their keeper, Onana, absolute rubbish. I do not rate Onana at all. He is terrible and the biggest waste of money. Then you got their defense. The defense is getting better. You got Harry Maguire. Lenny Yoro also looks good. Young guy, up and coming, tall, he's quick. But yeah, then you look at their midfield as well, and their defensive midfield also needs improving. yeah, they just need some new blood in that midfield. You got Bruno Fernandes, who every now and then you just need him to play the simple ball, and he doesn't. He just likes to play that impossible, long, low percentage pass. And don't get me wrong, when it pays off, it pays off. But sometimes he overdoes it. And look, as you said, Mr. Charbel, long may it continue. And I think it will continue. I think it will continue throughout the coming years. Manchester United, the downfall. Who would have predicted that they would be in this position? I think it's great for us Liverpool fans. It's fantastic. We absolutely love seeing Manchester United not do well, and Manchester United fans love seeing Liverpool not do well. But I tell you what, the tide has turned. Liverpool are challenging on all fronts, and Manchester United are just playing catch up. But one thing I can give them credit for is they have recruited in a positive way. They've at least, it looks like they're actually getting more positive players, Premier League proven players, and even Sesko stole him from Newcastle. He was meant to go to Newcastle, and then the Manchester United aura just attracts players. No matter where they come, 15th, 16th, they still attract players. They're still a gigantic and massive, massive club, and they will always attract players. And this transfer window is just another example, another reason why they will continue to attract players. But don't worry, Mr. Charbel, Manchester United, I'm sure will continue not doing well this season. And yeah, long may it continue. Alex, who is the best Arab player in the Premier League? Good question. You're going to have to drop your comments on who you think are the best Arab. Tarabat, was he an Arabic player? I think he was Moroccan. He was one of those players where you see those clips come up and you just think to yourself, man, like he was one trickster. He really knew how to dribble that ball. He was one of those players where you just really enjoyed watching. I think he was one of those players. Tarabat was. He was in a way a manager's worst nightmare, because there was times where you just needed him to let go of the ball, but he just kept doing all those tricks. But I tell you what, I think I think Tarabat would be the one player that I'll put up there. But if you do have a favorite Arab player, drop it in the comments there. Drop them in the comments. All right. I think we might call it a wrap. I think we're going to call it from here, boys. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for the comments. Thank you, Charbel. Thank you, Alex. Do really appreciate the comments and stacking on this channel. I think it's a good live chat that we have going. We're going to continue this throughout this season. And yeah, we'll chat again soon. So ladies there, Mr. Bruce, ladies there, Alex, and we'll catch up on the next one. For all the newcomers, like the channel, subscribe. We'll keep this community growing, and we'll catch you later. Thanks, guys. Peace out. Cheers.